guys, Bill of Rights time. I'm going to teach you guys the important Bill of Rights, not saying that they aren't all important, that you should know all of them, but we're just going to go through these pretty quickly. My bow tie's off. That means I mean business, so I hope you're in for a quick and effective lesson. Okay? Number 1, Amendment 1. Remember it like this. Number 1, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom to petition, and last but not least, freedom to assemble. Okay? Those are your 5 freedoms. Those are your natural rights that you cannot be infringed upon. Those are the things that a lot of us use. Obviously, we can practice any religion we want. We can print stuff in the media. We can peacefully assemble, not killing each other while assembling, but peacefully. Petition has to be recognized by the government as it does today. Stuff like that. Okay? Number 2, everyone's favorite. You just gotta go 1, 2, bang, bang. Okay? The right to bear arms, Amendment number 2. All right? Amendment number 2, now, not just you can have guns, it actually says you can regulate a militia and that your right to bear arms will never be infringed upon. Now, take that for what it is. Everybody debates it, north, south, east, west, doesn't matter. It's always debated. That's just the language. I'm not getting into the debate. Leave it in the comments. Number 3, you can't quarter soldiers in your homes during times of peace or war. That just goes back to during the Quartering Act when the English used to do it to us and everyone got mad. That didn't make anybody happy, so we kind of ditched the idea of it ever happening again with the Constitution. Number 4, kind of go like this. Make a fist. Knock, knock on the door. Oh no, it's the cops! Okay, here's the thing. Cops can't come in unless they have a search warrant, okay? They have to have probable cause to search your premises, all right? This comes into the court case Mapp versus Ohio where, cops broke in without a search warrant and they arrested somebody for having, child pornography. And they had to let him go because they didn't have a warrant. Now, that being said, there has to be probable cause and they have to have it signed by a district attorney or a judge of sorts to allow this warrant to happen. All right, number 5. You have the right to remain silent. Okay, if you ever get arrested, which I'm sure none of you have, but if you do, and you've ever watched an episode of Law & Order SVU, we're talking, hey, you have the right to remain silent. Okay, anything that you say can and will be held against you in a court of law, so on and so forth, okay? Now, that being said, the 5th Amendment also goes into, besides these Miranda rights, named after the famous Miranda versus Arizona case, there's something as though you have to be tried in front of a grand jury and you have to due process of the law. They can't skip something. They can't just be like, all right, we're going to throw you in jail, then try you. It doesn't really work that way. You have to go through the process. And finally, double jeopardy. Say you are accused of murder, you go through the process of it, and there's a problem and you get off. They can't be like, oh, well, we screwed up. We're going to try this again. No, you get to leave. There's no such thing as double jeopardy in this case. Okay? Number 6, right to a speedy and fair trial, right to an attorney. You can defend yourself. You don't have to. You can be provided an attorney whether you can afford it or not. That's also said in our 6th Amendment. Number 7, doesn't really matter that much. It's just right to a jury in civil cases more than $20. Obviously, $20 back in the time of the Constitution. A little more money than it is $20 today. Number 8, kind of go like this. Okay. Think of a noose, all right? No excessive punishments, no excessive bails, no cruel and unusual punishment. As a teacher, I love cruel and unusual punishments. But, as a citizen, if I get accused of, stealing a loaf of bread or something, I don't want to lose my hand, okay? That's not fair. That's not a good punishment. I'll sit in jail for 30 days, but ain't no way I want to lose my hand for that stuff. Number 9, a little confusing. Government cannot violate our freedoms. Set forth in the Constitution. Even if there is a right that we might have that isn't specifically stated in the Constitution, it's implied that the Constitution protects us and that the government can't make a law to, the government won't be able to pass a freedom of religion. There's no way they can pass an official religion. It's just not going to happen. They can't do that. And finally, number 10, we're talking about reserved, okay? You want to reserve yourself. Reserve, in this case, reserve state powers. We're talking about reserved powers, talking about state powers that only the states have that the federal government really doesn't care about. Stuff like education, marriage, drinking age, speed limits, stuff that the federal government doesn't state that they want, gives it to the states to decide, okay? So, like the drinking age, it's 21 in every state because the states agree. One of the big things nowadays is marijuana legalization. Obviously, Colorado and Washington both legalize it, but everywhere else it seems to be illegal. So, where does that leave us now? That's the first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights. Hopefully you guys understood them. I know it was quick. It was only, a little over 5 minutes. All right, guys, 5 minutes. We went through the whole Bill of Rights. I know it was quick. Maybe rewind this. You can click on the link below. You can find a Google form to help you guys quiz yourselves on this Bill of Rights because, maybe you'll find these on a test. All right, so catch you guys later. Next week, Click Yo's Classroom. Thanks for